welcome here to TalkFCB and welcome to some Barça pre-match build-up on a Sunday. It is a very, very strange weekend, isn't it? Because Barça are going to be facing Girona on Monday night in La Liga, and we have an enormous chance to extend our lead at the top even further. We're going to be talking all about that game to come, and once again today, we're going to be combining the match preview along with the very latest on the transfer side of things, on Lionel Messi, as we discuss Barca's reported 5-step plan to bring him back this summer, and that is a plan that is already well underway. It is all coming up for you on this Sunday. It's great to be here with you guys, so let's do it. Because although Barca may well have suffered a very painful defeat in midweek, we have not forgotten about that Clasico loss by any means, but we were given quite a significant boost on Saturday when it comes to the title race in La Liga, because it's safe to say that Real Madrid were brought quickly back down to earth after Villarreal stunned them at the Bernabeu. What a performance it was from the Yellow Submarine last night, twice coming from behind to win the game against Real by 3-2, and what a performance it was from Samuel Chukwueze. 2 goals from him, his winning goal. What a strike there on that left foot, arrowed into the top corner, absolutely stunning. And the first goal as well from him, wonderful footwork inside of the box, really strong performance. And that right there, guys, that win for Villarreal over Real Madrid means that Quique Setien has done the league double over them. He has beaten them home and away in the league this season, and he may not be the Barca coach any longer, but he has certainly done us some really good favours this season, because what that means right now is that Barca on Monday night against Girona, if they win, they'll be 15 points clear. We have an enormous chance there to put a huge and surely uncatchable gap between us and Real Madrid. And it's quite incredible, actually, because Real Madrid, for me, are much more in a battle right now for second place in La Liga. Because if Atletico Madrid win later on Sunday, they're going to be just 2 points behind Real. So Real really just focusing on securing second. But if we are looking at Barca's options ahead of this game against Girona on Monday, it's not going to be an easy one. Girona, of course, in the reverse fixture against them, we found it really tough going. That was away from home. We had injuries, of course, as well on that day. That was the game that Ousmane Dembele was ruled out injured, and we have not seen him since. And unfortunately this weekend, Xavi confirming before the game that both Pedri and Dembele not only remain on the sidelines, but for me, the tone just isn't good about those two right now. He again said today the feelings are not ideal in terms of their recovery. The sensations that we're having, it is not good right now, and there's still no indication at all as to when they're going to be back. It is really not encouraging right now. There is also going to be still no Andreas Christensen and no Frenkie de Jong in the squad either. It was felt as though maybe he might make the game in time, he might be back ready to play against Girona, but now we're already looking at next Sunday against Getafe. Could de Jong return in that game? Because obviously, as we've discussed this week, he is an enormous loss to our team, which means that right now, when you are looking at Xavi's potential lineup in this game, again, we are limited in what we can do, and that is why, for me, Roberto probably is going to be starting the game at right back, because I think at centre-back, let's start with Araujo, let's start with Koundé. We don't really want to be playing Alonso in there. Koundé, of course, found it tough as well against Real Madrid, so let's support him with Araujo, the two of them strong there at centre-back. That's what we need, and Balde at left-back for me. And then in midfield, I would revert back to a 3. I wouldn't have Roberto in there by any means. Busquets there holding, front Kessie as well. I thought, actually, until the penalty, of course, that Kessie gave away, he didn't have a bad game against Real Madrid. I think he was quite unfortunate, actually, to come off first in that game. So for me, he starts in midfield alongside Xavi. And then in the forward areas, again, we are quite limited. Rafinha, of course, didn't have a good game against Real. Ansu and Ferran are pushing for starts, but either of those two haven't really impressed all that much this season, as we know. Lewandowski starting down the middle. Apparently, he's still suffering from that Militao knee that he took into his back, but he's still going to be ready to start this game. And you just got to hope that Barca can bounce back, that we can ultimately get the job done against Girona, make sure that we're lifting our heads up, fighting on, battling for this league. Let's make that gap 15 points. Let's make it so that Real Madrid simply cannot recover, and we keep marching on to that league title. But indeed, guys, if we do now cross over to some of that transfer news surrounding Lionel Messi, who of course was in action himself this weekend, playing unfortunately for Paris Saint-Germain. Now those fans maybe could stop whistling him for 2 minutes, given that he was responsible for getting them back on track. Messi scoring at the weekend and also providing 1 assist in a 2-0 win. And that assist, by the way, was to Sergio Ramos. Messi there assisting Ramos for a goal. And I'm sorry, guys, but I'm just never ever going to get used to that. That is an image there that I just don't feel comfortable with, and I never ever will. But Messi certainly putting in a quality display for PSG. But what I did find very, very interesting this weekend was some of the rumours that we've been hearing in the Spanish media, particularly there one from Luis Rojo, who is a journalist there for Marca, because he came out with what is a 5-step plan when it comes to Barca and bringing Messi back there. What has to happen? What's already happened? What are the steps that we need to take to achieve it? And I just thought here we could go through each step to understand where we are right now, because he says the first step actually in Messi returning, in being open to return, it was Piqué's departure. That is the rumour right now in the media, because we still hear quite often that Messi and Piqué didn't exactly leave on good terms in 2021. It has been rumoured that Messi felt as though Piqué actively played a part in his departure, as though Piqué was pushing for it and certainly not trying to stop it. But those indeed are rumours that we've been hearing. We will never really know what happened between those two and if their relationship does remain intact to this day. But that apparently was the first step, Piqué leaving Barca, which has happened. Now the second step we've spoken about many times since it happened, and that was the chance at the Camp Nou during the Kings League, which ironically there is a tournament that was put together by Gerard Piqué. There was big chants inside the stadium from Barca fans towards Messi that even Aguero says was a really significant moment. And of course there was also Messi chants in midweek in the Clasico at the Camp Nou. So that there was a really significant thing. Before then we move on to the third step. Now this is where we start to have to work on these now. These are things that are in progress as we speak. And the third step apparently is the renewals of Jordi Alba and Sergio Busquets. And now this is something that also Gerard Romero has mentioned several times when it comes to Messi's return, because mostly this is from an FFP point of view, not really about a sporting point of view, especially there when you're looking at Jordi Alba. Now Busquets, we know Xavi wants to stay, he wants to use him in his team, he wants him to be key still, but I think renewing both of these two, ideally, it's to spread the cost. They both have big amounts of deferred wages that are owed to them by the club. If Barca were able to renew them not only on lower salary, spread across more years, but also spreading that deferred salary a bit further down the line, that would help there from an FFP point of view, which is something that is very key when it comes to bringing Messi back. So Alba and Busquets may need to be renewed. And then there's the fourth step, one that we have discussed very recently there. It's all about La Liga approving Barca's plan. We've spoken about the fact that Barca have a very detailed plan there on how they plan to register Messi and sign him in the summer, and Barca now next week are going to present that plan to La Liga. So the fourth step there is all about making sure that La Liga approve those plans, they're on board with it, and then we can really progress with talking with Leo himself and getting him to agree terms, knowing that La Liga have given it the okay, because the fifth step, and this by far is the most important, most significant of all, it's said there that will be Joan Laporta meeting with Lionel Messi in a face-to-face meeting there to basically resolve everything that's happened between them, restoring their relationship, working through any existing problems, any tensions that exist, of course, since Messi departed the club back in 2021. Laporta is basically going to use that as his final card. That is him putting it all on the table and ultimately wrapping up this deal. That would be the ideal world from Barca, going step by step, making sure that all of these objectives are met, and then at the very end of it all, Laporta sitting down with Leo, working out their differences, and all pulling together in the same direction. And I do have to say, guys, I'm very interested to know there in the comments down below what you make of that 5-step plan. Now, of course, there's other aspects that go into this, and there's a lot more that needs to be done just aside from those 5 steps, but those there are the pillars right now of this potential deal. And what do you make of it there? Would you go along with all of those steps? Are you happy with each of them? Do you believe that each of them are attainable? Let me know in the comments down below how you're feeling right now and what your reaction is to some of these rumours. And of course, ahead of tomorrow's game against Girona, what are your score predictions? What team would you line up with if you were Xavi? And what are you hoping for from this Monday night clash? I will see you tomorrow, guys, for all the reaction on that Monday night. And I hope you've enjoyed here the Sunday preview. Bit strange, little bit unfamiliar for us here on the channel, but I really, really do appreciate you taking the time out of your Sunday to tune in here today and get involved. Thank you, guys, for all of your support. I will see you very soon indeed. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. But until next time, as always, Visca el Barça.